Armchair.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Armor Cokes.
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub call. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Chief, what do you want to do tonight?
Same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Armchair.
YouTube Live.
Radio station.
The radio station you can call your own. Do you know what listeners like about our station?
I like everything.
It's always on my radio.
We never stop the music, except for now, when I talk.
Armchair.
Do you think you can get me a tape of the show?
What on earth for?
Well, how often do you get to hear your son on the radio?
I'm on the radio every day.
You're listening to WQVZ, 1700 AM Mission Radio.
For me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
No one talks in my meeting. No one thinks you can run this. If you could, then I wouldn't be here. Because I'm sick and tired of our football team getting pushed all over the field. I want precision. This is an institution of learning, ladies and gentlemen. You've tried it your way for years. They've given me less than 1 year to turn this place around. Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire...
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
He's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks. He's the all-American man. Yeah, the armchair.
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Welcome to the Armchair Quarterbacks today on Armchair Quarterback Radio. We are live with Mr. Bobby and Doug. Douglas, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. Good to be here once again.
And Bobby the Tortoise, how are you? Bobby, you're muted.
Of a bittersweet.
You're good now.
Officially benched. It was a long battle. I argued in favor of him for a while, but I do think it was the right decision.
We didn't catch the first thing you said.
Oh, it was just a bittersweet week with Kyler Murray being benched. So I know it's the right move. I know it's what the team had to do because Brissett's looking good, but
well, benched, wasn't he just sent to the IR?
He was sent to the IR, but it was essentially stated that if he's healthy, Brissett's still starting.
Okay.
So
all right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did beat the Cowboys. Of course, I don't know what that means because the Cowboys are so up and down. You don't know. They're so Jekyll and Hyde. It's been like that for I don't know how many years, the Dallas Cowboys. And the one thing stays constant, which is you have the same lame GM. It does. I don't think it matters what coach gets brought in. You're always going to have like, what the hell were they doing making all these trades as their season's tanking and basically getting rid of all the draft capital that they just acquired for in the Micah Parsons trade? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's absurd to me. I mean, the Jets made out of the deadline in a really good spot. They have now 3 first-round picks and a second. But for the Cowboys, with that Quinnen Williams trade, it doesn't make much sense for the state of their teams at. No,
it doesn't. It's dumbfounding. Like if you're Jerry Jones and you are obviously the guy who makes the decision, so you don't have to worry about if someone's going to fire anybody, right? Yeah. Why wouldn't you just save that draft capital for next year? Because this team is not winning a Super Bowl, not the way it's currently constructed.
Yeah.
So why? So I just don't get it. Doug, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by it. I can't fathom what they're doing. I mean, I guess this is a team that just wants to go for mediocrity from here on out. by doing that, that's kind of the signal. I hate to say it, but that's kind of the signal they're sending. Really don't care here.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Doug, your Raiders, they go for 2 at the end.
Yeah.
Did you like the call?
Yeah, I'd like to call. I mean, I know everybody, go for the tie, send it to overtime. But no, it's a gutsy call, and it's the same call I would have gone for the win. So I have no problems with it.
Yeah, the way they're sitting, so they are the Thursday night game tonight for people who've probably kind of checked out because it's such a lame Thursday night game. They're 2-6. At the time, they were 2-5. I don't hate the move at all. If you're sitting there at like 4-3, right? I say probably go ahead and force it to overtime because actually getting a tie would be advantageous in the whole scheme of trying to make the playoffs. But when you're at where the Raiders at, I like the call. I don't necessarily love the play call that they made, but honest engine, it was a fortunate tip by the Jaguars to even save that game. So,
yep.
And when you look at the whole big picture of it, Jacksonville continues to play with their food. They're going to play a Houston team this week, but I'm a little worried about the Jaguars covering the spread, which is essentially a money line pick, right?
Yeah.
Because on the road, and even though they've already ruled out CJ Stroud, that may not be the worst thing in the world because that offense is terrible. So how could it get any worse? I'm assuming it'll be Davis Mills. I don't know if we've gotten the stamp of approval yet, but I'm assuming Davis Mills will be the quarterback. I'm assuming it's going to be some kind of a situation where they're going to have a limited playbook. They're going to do what they think they do best. And honestly, that may help the Texans. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but the Texans might find a way to win this game because it feels like a game where the first team to 17 may win the whole damn thing. So, anyways, welcome in to Armchair QB today. Quick reminder for folks who follow the baseball side of us. Tonight is the Once Upon a Pastime series. That'll be at 6:00 tonight. And then tomorrow night, we're doing Braves Country Theater, and that is going to be the 1992 NLCS Game 7. We're going to relive when Sid slid and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I've been working on this week to get us ready. And once again, I mentioned it to Doug pregame or pre-show. Bobby, I'll say it to you and everybody else. No show next week because I'm going to be at a convention. So it's kind of hard to do two things at once. So anyways, no show next week. If we do make some picks, I'll put them in the posts on the YouTube channel. I might reach out to y'all in the early part of the week and get like a handful of picks or something like that. But anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in to the first segment of the day.
There's no need to fear.
Stupid.
Underdog is here.
Stupid.
Underdog.
Stupid.
Underdog.
Charlie, Peta. I don't see anybody else so far, so we'll just keep on rolling. The stupid underdog picks, we've got right now. Go ahead and put the standings up there. Bobby hit last week, and Doug increased. So Doug now has the lead. He's at 9.5. I did not cover. Wildly did not cover, and so I just slid back to 8.5. So Doug and I are neck and neck. We'll put this on the screen as we go to each segment, but you can see it there on the far left. All right, stupid underdogs. How it works is just a refresher course from Doug, because the damn text I got from him, Bobby, you would not believe this. How long we've been doing this? Years, right?
Yep.
He wants to know.
You have to go through it.
If a game that he picked, which was a 2.5 point spread, which in theory, because they won, I should have just gave him the 2.5 point. But I gave him 3 because he did cover. So I'm like, if you're going to take 2.5, I'm going to give you the 3. But because the team won by what was it, 14 points, Doug? He thought he was going to get that too. And I'm like,
No, not that. That's not what I said.
Right.
I said one or the other. Never mind. I'm sorry I brought it up.
When that theory, first of all, I'd be picking a lot of damn pick'em games because you could get a big pay dividend on that. The other thing is, I said, well, when I picked Florida State to beat Alabama, that would have given me like 28 points because they were like 2 touchdown underdogs and they won by 2 touchdowns. So
no, you don't get. I didn't say you got both. I just said if they covered, they won by 14. Just take the 14.
The idea that you would get that is just insane. Because I mean, I'm just gonna put a for instance out there. See if I have a game that pops up here. No, I don't have one right in front of me. But anyways, we'll take Jaguars and Texans. I know they're like a point and a half right now. If you go in and you took the Jaguars the Texans to win the game on a point and a half, what Doug was thinking is if the Texans win by 10, I get 10 points.
If they're the underdog, underdog, that's all I'm talking about. That's all I was talking. God, I'm sorry. Sorry, I said a word.
Big picture. If someone's playing along with this and they're taking the games, and they take Jaguars or take Houston to upset the Jaguars, and they win the game outright, they're only getting the money line. Vegas doesn't say, well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So here's some more money.
No, okay. You're doing that. That's what I was asking. That's all you had to say.
And I wish I still had that one clip. Well, I do have one clip that fits this segment real when we talk about Doug.
I was just talking about dummy fans.
I can't believe you still have that.
I actually can't either. I thought I'd cleaned out some of the stuff that I had. All right. All that being said, we move on. I had the one. I must have gotten rid of it. I had the one where it's surrounded by idiots. I was looking for that, but it's all in chaos because of the. By the way, shout out to everyone who followed us during the Major League Baseball postseason. Record-breaking numbers for the channel, and hopefully it continues to grow. From September 30th until November 1st, which is when the playoffs began and when they ended, 1.2 million viewers on Braves Country Radio. So that's not nothing. Yeah. The final game was 203,000, I think was the final head count. We had another game that went 130, but all in all, I mean, we were talking about most nights anywhere between 50 to 60,000 in the total views, and that's hell. If I knew where the applause sign was, I would give them a big applause for that, but instead we'll just hit that. So yeah, so that's what. And I looked it up. It doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot of money from YouTube. I was like, 1.2 million, but it does help us in the overall growth of the channel. So I was like, God bless America. I've already had a couple of folks that have reached out to me because they saw the numbers and they're possibly could be advertising next year. Anyways, we move on. Stupid underdog. Bobby, you get the first pick because you are in last place.
Well, I'm just trying to claw my way back up slowly but surely. So I'm going to go with a pretty close spread here. I'm going to go Vikings plus 4.5 versus the Ravens. I thought this line would be closer to even just because the Ravens, they have not been all that good this season. And the Vikings are coming off a big win last week over Detroit. And the Vikings are getting this game at home. So I think they can go out there and possibly get a win. If not, I do think they'll cover in this one. So I'm going to go Vikings plus 4.5.
That is kind of a surprising number to me.
Yeah, I was expecting to see if I had to line it, I would do like Ravens minus 1.5, maybe even.
Yeah, that's it's surprising that it's not closer to. Where's the game at? Baltimore?
It's in Minnesota.
It's in Minnesota. Yeah, I would have thought that would have been a field goal or less.
Yeah.
I guess they don't. Folks still don't trust JJ McCarthy is what I believe is going on with that.
Yeah.
So I get the next pick because I have found a way to blow a huge lead. So let me see here. Damn, I was hoping that number would be a little better. It's not. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go with it anyways. Give me, I don't know why, but this team has become like a darling to me. Like, I actually like to watch them. What time is this game? 12 o'clock on ABC. Give me BYU. They are getting 10.5 points. They're at Texas Tech. By the way, BYU, for folks who haven't paid attention, they're number 7 in the country. They're undefeated. Yeah. And they're getting 10.5 points. I get it. Texas Tech has been very impressive. But if I'm going to take a stupid underdog, I mean, that's about as smart of a stupid underdog as you can take. And, of course, if BYU wins by 20, that's going to be worth like 30 points, right, Doug?
Yes. Give me the points. Give me the points.
Next time I go to the betting window in Vegas, I go, hold on. I took money line, and they won by 30 points over money line, so I'm going to need y'all to give me a little more money. All right, Doug, since you are leading the pack, where are you going today, sir?
You snagged my Texas Tech pick, so I'm going to go to a weird one. Give me Temple plus 6.5 against Army.
What time is that nonsense game?
That's a 3:30 game, I believe.
I don't think it is.
Oh, well.
Do you have any idea what time it is?
We'll find out here in just a second.
All right, I found it. It's 12 p.m.
Oh, it's at 12. All right.
CBS Sports Network.
Doesn't bode good for me already. Don't even know what time the game is. It doesn't bode good.
He's going to take Temple. Are you a closet Temple fan? I feel like you've taken them before.
I took them at the beginning of the season when they that was my first underdog pick at the early part of the first game, week 2.
What's your deal? Are you like a Bill Cosby fan or something?
Just Temple's a better football team at their level than people.
Do you remember when they gave him some nonsensical PhD, even though he never graduated from the school?
He played football there for like a hot cup of coffee and then moved on. I don't know.
But he never. So they didn't just give him an honorary degree, which is pretty common. They gave him an honorary PhD.
Yeah,
and that's where he learned how to mix roofies. Regret that sucker. All right, we move on to the Survivor. Do we even have a thing for the Survivor? Yo, we do. Now I remember it's too damn long. Okay. All right. Survivor pick. I'm going first. Doug is sitting in last place, but I got to get something out of something. And Bobby won. I took the Packers, which knocked me out. And what we've changed with this going forward is we're not taking the same teams because we're going to run out of time. So we're going to treat it like the stupid underdog. If I take a team, if Bobby take, et cetera, et cetera. So it'll be me, it'll be Doug, and then Bobby. But it'll be the situation where we have to take an NFL game, and it's got to be one that wasn't already taken. All right. With that being said, man, the one thing I didn't write down, I know I was looking at it. I guess I didn't jot one down. All right. Man, this is such a tough one because I trust very little in this game, but it seems like the smartest pick. I feel like it's going to be a fall asleep spot, but give me the Bills minus their 9.5 point favorite. That has nothing to do with Survivor. Give me the Bills to win. They should beat the Dolphins. It's in Miami. This seems like a game, though, that they could just fall asleep at the wheel. South Beach going out and partying Saturday night. Oh crap, we got a game tomorrow. I got this feeling about this game, but I'm still gonna take it because it's the smartest one. Good to see you, as was. Reminder once again, as was, and everybody else, we are doing a show tonight. We're doing a show tomorrow night. Baseball shows. Tonight is Once Upon a Pastime series, Shoeless Joe. Tomorrow is the NLCS from 1992. Both of them start at 6 p.m. I'll put it in the chat here in a little bit. All right. Next up on the docket, Doug, I guess we'll give it to you. What you got?
Give me the Broncos tonight. The Raiders are hapless. I don't think they can win a ball game if they were handed the win. So give me the Broncos. Broncos defense will just kind of smother them and they'll pull out a win.
The Broncos. I feel like this is an okey doke situation. Like you're taking the Broncos, hoping you don't get it because you're a Raiders fan.
Yeah. How'd you figure that out? Yeah. Okay.
Because I never see you take anybody in the West, in the AFC West on anything. Like you're usually like pounding the table about an underdog here, an underdog there, and I always go. And I like a lot of Doug's picks, but I never put money on anything he bets on the AFC West. I know he's by black and silver sunglasses, right? I don't bet against it, but I don't bet on it. I stay away from it. Bobby, what is your survivor pick?
My survivor pick, I'm getting one of my.
You're getting who? I'm sorry.
I'll have the Lions over the Commanders.
The Lions.
Yeah, they'll have Marcus Mariota starting at quarterback. The Commanders will, and the Lions are playing pretty well lately. I just think it's going to be too much. It's going to be too much for the Commanders. Plus, the Lions are going to be looking for a bounce back week after that loss to the Vikings.
You know, that was a game I was really looking at because of what you're saying. But Marcus Mariota finds a way to keep teams in games. I don't know how.
Yeah, he's not bad.
It's really dumbfounding because did you see him a couple of years ago in the Netflix documentary? It's like called Quarterback or something like that.
I don't think I ever watched that. No.
He came off as a putz because that was the year where he quit on the Falcons.
Yeah,
he flat out quit on him. So I lost a lot of respect for him. But everything that I see around it, stories that are told about Mariota and whatnot, it seems like he's a likable guy. I don't know what happened in Atlanta, but then again, it seems like the Falcons are constantly in turmoil with whatever the hell they're doing at quarterback. You still can't convince me that it's a good thing that they still have Kirk Cousins on the payroll. And I'm not convinced that Penix is worth a damn. I think we lost Bobby for a second. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that Penix is worth a damn. But if you're going to draft Penix, then they should have traded Cousins immediately.
Yeah.
All they've done is lose every bit of draft capital to be able to trade him on a later date.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like the Atlanta Falcons always are. They're another team. We're just playing for mediocrity. Every decision always breaks even or they lose on. I never even understand why they took Penix in the first place, like you said, unless you intended. And you just signed at the time, you had just signed Cousins to what, another $180 million?
Yeah, they here's Bobby, he's back. The whole thing about Penix will never make sense to me.
No.
Because it's either one thing or another. You're either in belief that Penix was the guy you wanted all along, then you never should have signed Cousins. Because Penix was not being projected that high in the draft. Remember, they traded up and then they took a reach on him.
Yeah.
Right? So what the hell are you doing? And then they should have never made it to camp in 2024 with both of them still in the building.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like, damn, man, this is the guy we really like. We didn't realize it, whatever. You should have just taken the hit, traded him to someone who still believes. Because remember, Kirk Cousins was coming off big time year.
Yeah.
So his draft capital was never going to be higher than it was at that point. Him sitting on the bench has only hurt it. Anyways, we move on to the picks of let's flip it up this week. Let's go college football first. I got the wrong thing on. All right, we give you our 3 college football picks, and we go round and around and around, taking turns. Doug, we'll give you the first pick of the college football slate. What you got now? These we can double up if both of us like something. That's a good thing. I've never told people no, we can't all take the same. That means that you at home should probably should go the opposite direction. If we all take, but it is what it is. It's been very rare that we've had like a trifecta or even a double down that ever covers. I swear to God, it's weird. Like you would think, because we've had pretty good success over the years. You would think if we were all on one. Man, all right, this is the one to hit. I've seen it differently. And we've had different folks on the show over the years. It seems like it's that way.
Mac, we were both big on the 49ers a few weeks ago against Texans. They were -1.5. I think we both picked it for our 6-pack, and I picked it for my lock. It didn't hit.
Oh, yeah, I know. I did too. Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah, it was Doug and you.
That's right, Doug.
Giants? Was it Giants? By the way,
that was me. I think last week I picked the Giants and blew it.
We are on the middle right, so that's the 6-packs. The thing to the right, the far right that has the S, that's the survivors. So I've got to win, Bobby's got to win, and Doug will be looking for his first wins. But the 6-packs is what you see there with the beer cans. It's supposed to resemble American Rebel. I was telling Doug that I was getting it done with one of those AI generated things, and it didn't understand that. I gave up, so I just went with the generic look. Somewhere down the road, they're gonna let you choke out AI. Just listen to me, you stupid son of a. Doug, what is your first college football pick?
My first one is Georgia, Mississippi at noontime on ESPN. I am taking the over in this game at 56.5. Mississippi. I watched Mississippi finally win their first SEC game. I loved how they played on offense, and the way Georgia kind of played around with Florida last week. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Probably Georgia's going to win, but I could see them combining for 57.
All right, I don't hate that. I actually looked at it. The only thing that the only counterpoint I'll put on that is that I hate taking big overs on the early games because I feel like sometimes these college kids show up and they're half asleep. But 56 isn't that big of an over in the college football world. In the NFL world, if I told you that, you'd be like, "What? What are you nuts?"
Yeah,
huge. But college football, I mean, there's a reason why it's known as minor league football. I mean, it's bad tackling. They all play zone. The receivers are wide the hell open. It's basically the arena football of the other side of it. Or as opposed to watching Major League Baseball, it's like watching slow pitch softball. It's not the same game. So I hate to tell all these people who love college football more than NFL. Sorry, but you're watching an inferior product every single day. I watch an even more inferior product because I watch Florida State play. Bobby, what is your first pick?
My first pick, and I'll go ahead and tell you, this is a bit of a low under or over under. It's sitting at 40.5, but I'm going to go with Oregon and Iowa hitting the under on this one. I think this is going to be a low scoring, scrappy game. We've seen Iowa against good teams come out there and just really focus on slowing the game down and just making it a low scoring dogfight of a game. And I think we're going to see that. I think it's going to look a lot like their game against Indiana earlier in the year where it was like 20-14 or something like that, where they lost, but it was very low scoring. It was very competitive. I think we're going to see something like that. That game's at 3:30 on Saturday afternoon. Yeah, I'm going with the under there.
Under what was the number that you had again? 40.5?
Yeah, 40.5.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that, and I'm with you. Honestly, it's like it's not a game that I took, but I'm with you because of the fact that when I look at these teams and just look at the way Iowa likes to play the game, I was going to try to take the air out of the ball.
Absolutely.
And I haven't even checked the weather report, but you got to take that into factor too when you look at Iowa this time of year, if it's cold, if it's windy, all that kind of stuff. And what time is that game again?
That game's at 3:30.
Okay, so it's 12:30 Oregon time. So so Oregon could be sluggish as well.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to. What I'd really like to see is what is the number for the first half, because this feels like a game where you're going to get almost like a boxing match where they're just feeling each other out.
Yeah,
but I don't hate that pick at all. My first pick, man, I'm taking this because the line has moved up to where you can take it to 3.5 on the Hard Rock bet at a minus 135, I think is what the number is. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. Florida State is a 3.5 point underdog against Clemson. Both of these teams are terrible. They're terrible. I'm going to take the team that's getting the points in the 3 and a hook. I'm going to take the points. I think this is going to come down to a field goal. And if there was ever going to be a team that could actually blow the other team out, it's probably Florida State, because you don't know what the hell to expect from them. They're Jekyll and Hyde. They blow out Alabama, but then they lose 4 straight, and then they turn around and if y'all remember, Sean on the show used to always use this term. Talk about a team that's always frisky. It's Wake Forest. And somehow Florida State dominates them. And I was floored by that. I had that on in the background when I was calling Game 7 of the World Series, and I kept looking over. I was like, what? No. They're going to, no. What? It was like 28-0. I was like, no, they're going to collapse. Something's going to happen. They end up blowing them out. I don't think they figured anything out. I just think that for whatever reason, coming off a bye, they had a good game plan. See, here's my problem with Norvell and company. You give them a long time to get ready for a team, he usually has a good game plan. But what's it going to be like this week? He's only got 6 days to prepare. What's it going to be like when he plays Florida, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? So, but I think Florida State will probably win on Saturday night. But regardless, I like the 3 and a hook plus 3. Doug, what is your next pick?
We'll go right back to the same game. I got Florida State and Clemson. I got the over at 56.5. Did anybody watch how many points Clemson gave up to Duke last week? Going back and forth. I think Florida, I easily, there'll be 60 points in this game alone. Clemson can't stop anybody, hasn't stopped anybody in weeks. And I think Florida State is legit enough to put up a lot of points against them.
Yeah, honestly, in the game that they did win against Alabama, there were cracks in that defensive armor. That there was a point in the game that I remember Bama was fighting their way back in, and I thought they were actually going to get the win. I thought they were going to actually wear FSU's lack of depth because they just don't have the talent there yet. And they had a couple of plays that went their way. Florida State got the ball back. They scored, got the double-digit lead, and never looked back. But there was a point where it was teetering, and I could see that. I just don't have a lot of faith in the Clemson offense, but I have less faith in Tommy C. So but at the same token, you're right. These two defenses suck.
Yep.
Bobby, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going to another 3:30 game. Texas A&M, Missouri. I'm taking Texas A&M to cover 6.5 point spread. I think they're going to go out there and win this game. Missouri, they have played 2 ranked teams this season. In both games, they've lost by a touchdown. A&M is the best team they're playing at this point. I think A&M, they're killing it right now. Marcel Reed's playing great. They've just got a really good team. They're number 3 in the country. I think they're going to go out there and win this game pretty handily.
Aswas says that he thinks that Clemson will score most of the points. He's got no faith. I think Aswas is a Seminole fan too. Yeah, he is. I don't know. I mean, it's a 7 o'clock game. I've actually got the Saturday night off for the first time in a long time. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to drink a cold one and pretend like, these two teams are undefeated. But I'm also getting prepared to flip over to other games and keep that game muted in the background when it gets slap ugly. My second pick of the college football picks, I'm going to give me a teaser. So Vanderbilt is a 6.5 point favorite. And with Vanderbilt being the favorite, if you take them down to a teaser, what you're doing, for people who aren't familiar with teasers, you're giving up, you're getting 6 points in your direction, but it's a 2-game deal like that. So it's a parlay essentially, but you are getting the benefit of the 6 points. I like Vanderbilt, which now turns into a money line pick. And then the Florida Kentucky game. Give me the under which will take me to 50.5. I don't see how these two teams against these two defenses are going to put up 50 points. I almost wanted to take Florida, to be honest with you, Bobby, but I do know that Kentucky has had Florida's number in the last several years from time to time. Even when Florida wins, it's an ugly win on a team that they should be beating. Now, they're both 3-5, so you can't make that argument. But my point is, though Kentucky's looked terrible, and by the way, did my one big thing happen or did it happen? I told you
one big thing.
The Kentucky-Auburn loser, the coach was getting fired, and the next morning, Hugh Freeze
out of there. Yep. You got that. Well, I think you could you be seeing a similar result? You would have the best answer for this in the Clemson Florida State game. You think that's going to happen? Loser's gone?
I don't know enough about the Dabo Swinney buyout.
Yeah.
I also will say this, and I know he's had a couple of down years. Who are you going to get better than Dabo Swinney at Clemson? Because they don't have like they don't have an unlimited resource of a fountain of money coming in, right?
Yeah.
All I'm saying to Clemson fans, I understand why you're frustrated, but be careful what you wish for.
It's fair.
Norvell, he loses. It's a close game. They'll probably piddle around. I still think he gets fired at the end of the season. I don't get the strategy of keeping him on, but maybe they thought that if they could keep him motivated, he could get them to a bowl game and get that bowl money and then get him fired. But it would not shock me if what you're saying becomes true, that the loser is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, the winner might get fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what did you win? Shut up. You're gone. So yeah, it's an interesting conversation that it's two teams where Florida State has more of a brand, and they also have more of, I'm talking about long-term. They also have more money.
Yep.
Clemson, I don't know what they're going to get, but I will say this. The brass in Clemson might be tired of the, I'm the best there is, and I'll go somewhere else and coach kind of attitude from Dabo Swinney. You can't do that when you're losing every damn week.
Yeah,
So,
I saw him saying he's had some ridiculous quote where he's like, you're going to see the best version of us, something like that. It was just, it gets tiring listening to him talk, I'm sure.
Yeah, the best version of what? We're going to lose closer than you've ever seen us lose before. Right? Like they're 3-5. Even if they beat Florida State, they're 4-5. That would make them 3-4 in the ACC. Florida State, if they win, they'll become one game away from bowl eligible. And though that does not sound exciting to most folks, remember they haven't been to a bowl game. They didn't go to a bowl game last year. They got screwed in 2023. That bowl game doesn't even count in our minds because nobody watched it. So they haven't gone to a bowl game. So I've got the box in here somewhere. The Cheez-It Bowl, where they played Oklahoma at the end of the 2022 season, where they were on fire. That's the last time it felt like they went to a bowl game. Yeah. If they beat Clemson, they only need one more win between Virginia Tech, NC State, and Florida. Two of those are on the road, but I feel like that's going to get done.
It's very gettable, yeah.
By the way, what about your boy going to Virginia Tech?
Who's going to Virginia Tech?
Huh?
Who's going to Virginia Tech?
James Franklin.
James Franklin's going to Virginia Tech? How did I not see that? That's a
it went under the radar. I don't know what reason, but that's a pretty big hire for Virginia Tech. Look, I get it.
Yeah, I would expect a bigger school for him. That's good for them.
Penn State fans will tell you differently, but I think I don't know. I think because it's a good spot for him too. Because if he builds him up, then he can move on to to agree.
Yeah, that's I guess my thought process, or what his thought process would be behind that is he could kind of bounce back there, build that program up a little bit, and then get a big job again.
And it's in the same region where he's been recruiting for years.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech's kind of the halfway spot between Vanderbilt and Penn State.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to hire a lot for both of them.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I didn't see the details. Virginia Tech's not going to have to pay him a whole lot because whatever they don't pay him, Penn State has to foot the bill.
Yep.
I mean, if I were James Franklin, I'd have said, I will coach for minimum wage because I want to stick to Penn State. Anyways, we move on. Doug, what's your final college football pick as we try to pick up the pace in this?
All right, 3:30 ESPN2. I got Kansas, Arizona. I'm taking the over in this game. Only because Kansas seems to either they allow someone to score 40 points against them or they score 40 points against whoever they're playing. Either one happens every week to Kansas. So give me the over in this game at 56.5.
And who's Kansas playing again?
Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
Yep.
That's Doug's. I think we start naming this. That's Doug's who gives a crap game of the week. It reminds me of when our buddy Tones used to come on the show, and he would get more obscure.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to take Iowa State versus the deaf, dumb, and blind school of Texas City. And what I like in this game, he have a complete breakdown. I'm like, what?
There's not even a line for it, but there's no line for it. He would have found a way to bet on the Ole Miss.
There were no television cameras at the game. Like, he'd be like, it's not being televised, but I'm telling you right now, it's happening.
Magee, there's no line for it. He would have found a way to bet on that Ole Miss Citadel game this weekend.
The local PBS station is doing a live radio remote for the game.
Well, they're doing that for the Incarnate Lehigh game. Lehigh's favored by 3.5.
Incarnate was actually the one that I was actually trying to think of because he never picked him in football, but I always thought of them when I would do basketball picks. I would always think of that as a Tones type of pick.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I actually think we're mispronouncing. I forget how it's really pronounced. I've heard it a few times, but
Incarnate, I don't
know. Carnivore, something. All right. Yeah. Bobby, what's your last college pick?
My last pick, I'm looking at that BYU Texas Tech game that we were talking about earlier. The over-under is sitting at 52.5. I'm taking the over. Both these teams are very high scoring. There's a lot on the line in this game, so they're going to be in a shootout, I imagine. And yeah, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
And that's a fun one. I mean,
yeah.
when we look at the top 25 picks for this week, y'all, I mean,
it's not much.
There really isn't, and it's really kind of disappointing considering we're in November.
Yes.
Now, the one thing I will say is that some of this is Florida State and Clemson's fault. They didn't stink so bad we'd have a good one.
Yeah.
The other teams that you can point the finger at on why we have kind of a dud, where's that game? LSU, Alabama. Alabama's doing their part, but it's like that meme video where it goes, I did my part. And LSU's going, I didn't do snap.
Yeah.
They're 5-3 and 2-3 and have already crap canned their coach. You know what? A rumor I already saw resurfacing about bringing Ed Ogeron back.
Oh my gosh.
Like, there's no way that's going to happen.
No chance.
He took a victory lap on the money that he was given. I don't even remember where he's being interviewed, but he did this whole thing about it. He goes, well, they told me they're not going to pay me this, not to coach us, where do I sign? And laughing away at it. They're not going to rehire that guy.
No chance.
Okay. Before I forget to put this into the chat. I guess it's my pick. Correct. Yep. My last college football pick is, this was a random one, but I like it. So Penn State, what time is their game? This is here we go, Big Ten. Penn State is at home against Indiana, 12 o'clock, and I'm not going with the over-under. I'm not going with the spread. By the way, the under's dropped down to 48.5 for those who care about that. The under Penn State rushing yards is 150 yards. I don't know how Penn State's going to come up with 150 yards of rushing because I expect that Indiana's going to get the early lead and they're going to be chucking it around. Give me Penn State under 150.5 yards rushing. It was just a random one that I saw pop up, and I was like, what? No.
Yeah,
What?
that makes sense with the game script of that game.
I get it. College football, 150 yards is pretty regularly hit, but the game script and Indiana's defense is much better than folks realize.
Yeah.
I think something else that people fall asleep with the wheel. How about they're number 2 in the country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they even play Ohio State this year? They do not.
Ooh.
They'll be the first time they'll see each other will be in Big Ten championship game. That's actually a fun championship game.
Yeah.
All the others are going to be, well, even if I lose, I'm still going to the playoffs. All right, we go to the NFLs. We start to put the pedal to the metal, ending this chapter of Week 10 in the NFL, Week 11 in college football. All right, here we go. Week number 10 in the National Football League. Bobby, we'll go with you. What you got?
Yeah, so my first pick, I'm looking at that Steelers-Chargers Sunday night football game, and the lines for the over-under sitting at 44.5. I'm taking the over. This Steelers defense is not what we're used to seeing from them. It is not a very good defense. And Chargers offense, they've been good. I think this is going to be a high-scoring back-and-forth game. We usually see pretty exciting games on primetime too. I think the Steelers brand of football, we're so used to it being strong defense, but this year it has been anything but that. So I think that over-under is sitting way too low. I'll take the over there.
The over.
Yep.
What was the number again?
44.5.
Okay. Over 44.5. Doug, what you got?
I got tonight, Raiders, Broncos. The over and unders at 42.5. Give me the under. The Raiders aren't scaring anybody offensively. Jacoby Myers is gone. I know what's his name, Brock Myers is coming back tonight. Broncos defense will just cover him up. I see the Broncos scoring just enough to get the win, but definitely under 42.5. I'm looking at like 23-10, 23-3.
All right. My first pick on the National Football League, Houston's over-under is 19.5. Now, it's been going up and down because of the news of C.J. Stroud not playing, but it's gone back. It's gone back up. I think it's really back to what I kind of said earlier at the beginning of the show, that does it really hurt their offense? I don't care. Houston's offense is terrible. It's one of the worst watches in all of sports. If they were ranking them, or they're putting them on the national stage, so in other words, like a Buffalo Bills offense is going to be primetime Thursday night, the Houston Texans offense would be 8 a.m. on C-SPAN Monday morning. Nobody wants to watch that crap. Give me the under, even though I do believe that Jacksonville could lose that game because they have been known to play with their food, especially on the road in recent years. I just don't see a lot of points coming in. Plus, this rivalry, for whatever reason, there's a few years ago where they tend to have shootouts, but that ended about 2 or 3 years ago. Ever since then, these tend to be just rock fights. Give me the under in the Houston Texans under 19.5.
Oh, it's team total. Okay.
Team total,
yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, you're getting some big money if you take the. I don't even know if that's even available.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Shock me if the whole damn
it might hit though.
It would not shock me if the whole thing ends up going under 19.5. I mean, this game smells like a 9-6 victory for somebody. Yeah, as was I mean the Jaguars struggled against the Raiders, but the Raiders do tend to play those types of games against teams, especially in Vegas. But and one thing about when you travel to Vegas nowadays, used to when you went to Oakland, Doug can tell you it was an environment where you were almost feeling like you were intimidated.
Yeah,
now it's an environment where you're just sidetracked because you've been out at the slots all night long and the crap tables. I think it's difficult for anyone to win in Vegas because anybody that goes to Vegas is going to want to go to the damn casinos.
Yeah.
The only way to prevent that is if you fly in on Sunday morning.
The weirdest thing about the Raiders playing in Vegas, sometimes you get more people coming from Denver to watch the game. Like, you get more people from Denver coming into Vegas to watch the game than actual Raiders fans.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not that surprising to me in the big picture just because of the fact that it is a tourist town.
Yeah.
Well, most of the Raiders fans are back in Oakland.
Exactly.
For years and years and years, that was an Atlanta Brave problem because it was looked like as a transplant city. Mm-hmm. Now more and more people have kind of built they built companies in the Atlanta area, which means people have been there long term. So there's more actual like Braves and Falcons types of following. But you get that. That is the reason why I still say the only city in Florida that could ever actually have a franchise in Major League Baseball and put butts in the seats every day is Orlando. Now, it wouldn't be very home team friendly, but people are going to fly in from all over wanting to go see Mickey Mouse. And by the way, let's catch a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where are we at? Who's next?
I think it's my second pick.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Got sidetracked.
All right, I'm going to go with the teaser. I'm going to go with the NFC West teaser here. Both teams are getting 6 added to their spread. 49ers, I'm getting them up at plus 10.5, and the Cardinals, I'm getting them up at plus 12.5. The 49ers, they're in a dogfight with the Rams to win this division. Both teams are sitting at 6 wins. This is a very important game in the division. It's being played at Levi's Stadium as well, so that's something to note. It's a home game for the 49ers. So I think they'll definitely stay within 10 points. And then the Cardinals, we looked a lot better with Brissett under center. I think it's a different team. The offense looks like it's flowing a lot better. I think we'll stay within 12 points of the Seahawks. And that game's usually, it's weird because with that Cardinals-Seahawks rivalry, it's usually the team playing on the road that gets the win.
Are you saying 12 points?
Yeah, it's a teaser. So the Cardinals are going from plus 6.5 up to plus 12.5.
Okay, 12. Okay. I was saying 6.5. You were saying 12, so I didn't know if you had a different number.
Yeah,
okay.
6-point teaser. So I'm getting the 49ers plus 10.5, Cardinals plus 12.5.
Gotcha. Cardinals plus 12.5. Okay. Doug, what you got?
I'm going to stick on that same game. I think the Seahawks are overlooking this game this week. I think Seahawks are thinking ahead to next week against the Rams, which they seem is the more important game. This rivalry has always played close. I don't care what state the Cardinals or the Seahawks have over the years.
Yep.
So give me the Cardinals just a straight up plus 6.5. I think I think it'll be close. It'll be a lot closer than people think they are. Because I think the Seahawks are smelling themselves for next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Arizona plus 12.5 and 49ers plus 10.5 on the Bobby teaser, and then Doug's taking just the straight up plus 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Plus those AFC West games, especially Cardinals and Seahawks. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bobby. That's always felt like a damn really, really low scoring rock fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it typically is.
Which is strange because there'll be years where both offenses are really good, and then they'll show up and it's 12-10.
Yeah.
Real quick, we did have a fantasy advice question that I just saw. Stahanley wants to know J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix, or Jacoby Brissett full PPR during a bye week. Who are we starting between those three? J.J. McCarthy, who is at home against the Ravens, Penix, who is at the Colts, and Jacoby Brissett, who we just talked about is going to be at this. Okay, first one I'm taking out the box. I don't like Penix. I don't trust him. Even though he's going up against the Colts defense, has been a little suspect at times. They did make a pretty good trade for
Picked up Sauce
I
Gardner.
think they paid way too much for it. Let me get that off Bobby's face. I think they paid too much for him, but and the whole going over to Germany, I thought all this crap was over with the London games. Wasn't it? Well, now we're in Germany. Yeah, now we're in Germany this week, and I just don't trust the travel plans, right? So to me, it's either against a very porous Ravens defense at home with McCarthy. Do you trust him, or do you trust Brissett against the Seahawks? Bobby, what say you?
I mean, we were talking about how unpredictable and weird those Cardinals Seahawks games tend to be. I would go with JJ McCarthy coming off the week he had last week against the Lions, and I think he's going to go out there and have a competitive game with the Ravens. I would go with McCarthy. I would say
that's where I'm leaning too.
Yeah,
so am I.
There we go, clean sweep.
Yeah,
yeah. I just think that the Ravens defense has been an absolute. I actually think this is going to be a shootout, and the number is 49.5.
Yep.
So yeah, I would go with McCarthy. It's one of those one where you hold your nose. I like his chances better. Brissett looked good on Monday night, and I get the intrigue. But
quick turnaround too.
Quick turnaround, and they're on the road, and that Seattle defense has been very impressive.
Yep.
All right, back to our picks. Where did we leave off at? Sorry.
I think you're up now with your second pick.
Mine. All right. So my pick, I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers money line. They're at home against New England. One thing I will say about this, if you're wondering which Buccaneer running back to start, don't. The Patriots have not allowed a running back over 50 yards. I think they said 9 or 10 consecutive weeks.
Yeah, I don't think they've let it happen all season.
All season, but I think it might even went back to last year as well. Yeah. Anyways, they're going to try to and there's a chance that Bucky Irving could play, whatever. Obviously, you're going to start Bucky Irving before you start some schmo, but if it comes down to the timeshare that we saw the last couple of weeks without Bucky Irving, don't start one of these guys. It's going to be a Baker Mayfield show. All right, next pickup, Bobby, what you got?
All right, my final NFL pick, I'm going to the Jaguars at -1.5 versus the Texans. They burned me last week, so this is their last chance to redeem themselves. But the Texans, they'll probably have Davis Mills out there starting. I know C.J. Stroud, I believe he's already been ruled out for this game. So if they can't get this done, that is very troubling for the Jaguars. I think this will be a low-scoring game. I think it'll be very ugly, and I think the Jags will eke out a close win.
All right. Doug, what you got?
I'm going to the same game. Houston burned me last week. I should have taken the under last week. So I'm taking the game total under 37.5. To me, that's a no-brainer. I'm not going to get fooled again with Houston. I'm not taking anybody in the money line. Just give me that straight under.
All right.
It screams under.
And I'm taking a first half spread. Give me the Bills -5.5 in the first half against the Dolphins. Honestly, I like the Bills for the game 9.5. I could just see a backdoor cover where the game is totally out of reach, but Tua finds Waddle in the back of the end zone to make it a 9-point loss. I just give me the first half. The Bills, they're either going to come out firing on all pistons and ready for this game and take care of what they should be taking care of and winning this game and not mess up the fact that they just beat the Chiefs. Because if you want to screw up a good feel of beating the Chiefs, go on the road and lose to the Dolphins next week. They should show up and take care of the Dolphins. They should be up by 2 touchdowns by the half.
Yeah.
But if they're not, if they're going to screw around, then they're not covering that damn spread anyways. But I'm going with the Bills -5.5. All right, we are into the lock segment. Let's pick up the pace. Doug, what is your lock of the week?
My lock is take Oregon in the 6.5 against Iowa. Simply because I think Oregon will score enough. If they get a touchdown or 10 points ahead, Iowa has to abandon the best part of the game, which is their run game. Going to the pass game, they're crippled. They're gone. And I think Oregon will pull away late.
Bobby, what you got?
My lock of the week, I'm going to go to that Steelers-Chargers game at over 45.5. I think that's going to clear that number pretty easily.
All right, my lock is going to be Browns-Jets under 19.5 in the first half. I would be willing to take under 3.5 in the first half. I don't think these two offenses are going to get past midfield, but someone can fumble the ball. So, but I mean, come on. Coming off a bye week. Well, that just means the defenses have had a week to get ready. I'm supposed to be worried about freaking Dylan Gabriel versus what's that schmo's name for the Jets? I can't even think of it. Anyways,
Tyrod Taylor, is he out there?
Yeah, Taylor, or is it, or it's either that or they're going to go with Fields.
If he's back, yeah.
Yeah, if he's back, we'll see.
Either way, not a good option. Either way,
it's going to be 3 yards and a cloud of AstroTurf.
Yep.
What's your cool game and your one big thing, Doug, as you walk this off?
Cool game. Going right back, I think the coolest game of the week is the BYU Texas Tech game. This is the game that seems to matter the most this week. My one thing is in that game, if BYU somehow embarrasses Texas Tech's defense, which Texas Tech spent $4 million to build that defense, you might have another coach on the sit down list.
Bobby, what you got?
My cool game of the week. I'm looking at that Patriots-Bucks game. I think this is going to be a really exciting game. 2 MVP candidates and Drake May versus Baker Mayfield going head-to-head. And then my one big thing, keep an eye on that NFC West game between the Rams and 49ers this weekend. That's a big game in terms of the division. You have 3 teams sitting at 6 wins with the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers all in a dogfight to win that division. This game is very, very important. You don't see games with this high of stakes when it comes to divisional outcomes this early in the season.
No, you don't. And that is my cool game of the week. I'm looking forward to that 425.
Yep.
Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Nealon dies at age 24.
Whoa.
That just broke across.
Wow.
The details. I do apologize, but I just saw it break across the bottom line.
Wow. Rest in peace.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
Yeah.
Man, that's. I'll have to get the details and put it in the chat later. My one big thing that'll happen this weekend, let's go to the world of college football. And you're looking at some of these games that are going to come to head. Now, first of all, we didn't have enough time to get into this. The committee's college football playoff reveal is absurd in some of these, but I don't have enough time to get into that. Maybe we'll get into that later in the week. But my one big thing that I'm going to take away from this coming weekend is you're going to see some big separation in some of these matchups. Teams that are, in other words, they're going to go from contenders to pretenders or pretenders to contenders. What happens in that Oregon-Iowa game? Iowa has been a mixed bag of tricks. You don't know what to expect. What happens if Missouri upsets Texas A&M, who's ranked number 3 in the country? Right? What happens if BYU ends up staying undefeated and beating Texas Tech? Those are the games to me that are going to start because we've only got a few more weeks. And God forbid if you're a fan of a team that takes – we have not had full carnage yet. We have not had a week where a bunch of the favorites drop. This could be that week. LSU always seems to play Alabama very well, even no matter the stakes on each side. Navy is an interesting one going up against Notre Dame. I expect Notre Dame to plow them, but I actually called that game last year. Navy-Notre Dame is a disaster for Navy, but Navy's playing pretty good football. All these games that are coming to it, we're going to get some big separation. And a team like Vanderbilt, who thinks that they're in it, they better mow Auburn. They better not make it a close game because you don't want to give the committee any reason to not put your brand on because they figure nobody wants to watch Vanderbilt. In Miami, you're done.
Yes.
Thank God. We don't have
to hurts Notre Dame, though. God, I hate that.
We don't have to see this crap You know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
And we'll see what kind of fight they have left. I would not take Miami minus 28.5 against Syracuse because I think they may give up.
Yeah.
All right, y'all have a great one. We ran over. Apologize for going over. Talked a little too long about a whole lot of nothing. Incarnate, whatever the hell the name of it. That took up at least 2 minutes. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We're back tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we're fired, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's closing time, y'all. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Have a great one. On your way out, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to tip your favorite bartender. We'll see you. I'm Magee, signing off for Braves Country Radio.